Okay, I heard you loud and clear. We're gonna do an Anna reaction, okay? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Edith. I am a personal trainer. I live in Tokyo, been living here for the past decade. Originally, I am from Israel. I am also currently pregnant, 18 weeks, pretty much to the day. Let me show you. I think you can tell, right now it's morning, so I'm still not very bloated, but I don't have my six-pack, and yeah, there's a belly, a little bit. Anyway, so yes, about 18 weeks, not about, exactly 18 weeks pregnant currently. Apparently also it's a girl, so yay. I mean, I would have said yay anyway. I didn't care if it would be a boy or a girl. Before we start, I'm gonna give you first life updates, which I've already started, and some disclaimers about the channel and about other stuff. So, life updates. 4 days ago, Saturday, on Valentine's Day, 4 days ago, I had my first and probably last for a very long while pole dance performance. My studio organizes these events or recitals every once in a while, and this time I wanted to participate because I wouldn't have a chance anytime soon. I've been doing pole dance for the past 10 months, and I really like it. It's sort of like my more artistic outlet, if you will. I think I progressed from beginner to intermediate quite quickly just because I have my background in fitness and CrossFit, so I do have muscle and kind of more upper body strength and core strength, which I am now starting to lose as my abdominals begin to protrude and stretch out. So yeah, that was really awesome. It was fun. I posted a short clip of the routine on my shorts, so you can go check it out, just a finale. Maybe I will post the entire thing, but I don't know if I'm allowed because it's like a whole song. So I think if it's about 30 seconds out of the song, maybe that's okay. YouTube is okay with it, but I don't think I can post the whole thing. You could watch it maybe if I post it on my Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Edith_the_trainer. What else? So that was my performance. I am now going to take a break from pole dance for a while for a couple of reasons. First and foremost is because I have another High Rocks coming up. As you may know, a few weeks ago I did a High Rocks mixed relay in a group of 4. We did that in Osaka, my friends and I, and we had so much fun that we decided to do another one in Bangkok next month. So it's almost exactly a month from today. I do need to prepare for that. I do need to get ready to do longer runs, etc., and quick transitions with my partner, because this time we're not going to do it relay style. We will do a women's double style. Sorry, Stella is right here. Let me get her. So I need to get ready for that. So definitely pole dance is going to be on the back burner. Also, it's starting to become a little bit frustrating as inversions and climbs are starting to get a little bit more difficult. I'm losing core strength, like I said. So when I come back to pole dance in, let's say, about a month and a half, I will focus mostly on floor work and the dancing parts, the flow, which I am lacking anyway. I was pretty good in anything that I could manhandle, but not really on the more graceful parts. So that will be a good opportunity to focus on that. It still requires core strength, but not as much like an inversion. We talked about pregnancy, we talked about fitness, we talked about High Rocks, we talked about pole. And here are some disclaimers. First of all, regarding everything I said so far. I am a relatively fit woman. I am maybe average or even slightly below average when it comes to the fitness world or athletes. There I'm sort of like average or median, but in terms of general population, I am a fit person. I don't want anyone who is pregnant now, was pregnant, or thinking to be, to think that they need to do what I'm doing. I am not trying to encourage anyone to do pole dance performances or High Rocks or the type of training that I'm doing right now at 18 weeks pregnant. I think as many as there are women, there are pregnancy stories and pregnancy situations. And it's extremely individual. Whatever it is that I'm feeling or experiencing can be 100% different to someone who, let's say, is in a very similar physical condition to me, or that is even physically similar to me. in terms of height, weight, etc. So that is very important to know, that it's extremely individual, and I'm just sharing it just to share it because, this is social media. This is what we do. I wanted to mention also that I am extremely lucky not to have sickness or nausea, vomiting during pregnancy. I don't have a lot of adverse effects. I don't have incontinence. I don't have, a lot of other things that women have, maybe dizziness or dizzy spells or stuff like that. I think most of it is just luck and genetics. My mom had relatively easy pregnancies according to her, and she went through them, fine. So I think it's mainly genetics. The fact that I am fit relatively, I'm sure it helps, but it's not the end all be all. You can look at Chikara transformations, right? Ilona, her baby is now 4 months old, and she is a very fit woman, and her pregnancy was quite tough. It has nothing to do with how fit you are. So don't think that you can expect yourself, if you are fit or if you're not fit, to have a pregnancy that would go this way or the other. I sort of knew that mine would go okay just because of how it was for my mom and other female members in my family. That's basically it. And that's what I wanted to say about that. Now, one more disclaimer that I wanted to make, completely unrelated, but it's related to the channel. I do not want this channel to be a snark channel per se. I am a snarky person. This is my snarky dog. She's very sassy, okay? And I do have strong opinions about things, and sometimes I express them in a very straightforward way. I am Israeli after all, so it's not that I don't have a filter, but like when I say something, it's quite straightforward. So I don't want this channel to be a snark channel. I use the GORLs and GORL World and Fat Acceptance, Fat Liberation just as a case study to enhance mine and yours, ours, wellness, fitness, and health journeys, okay? So when I react to Anna, it gives me an opportunity to talk about fitness and training and fitness psychology and mindset. When I'm reacting to Alex, this gives me opportunity to talk more about nutrition and nutrition psychology and strategies about food. And when I look at the fat acceptance, then it's sort of, let's say, more sociology, psychology kind of, and mindset. So I don't want to criticize these people personally. Now, yes, it comes off like this sometimes because I'm a private person, they are private people. They have their personalities, strong personalities. I have my own strong personality. And there is a clash there that is hard to just ignore, right? I'm not a robot. And also, I think a content like that wouldn't be interesting basically to anyone. It might be interesting for a bit, but you'll lose interest very quickly. I am aware that when I get mad, people like it and they enjoy it and they think it's funny. I also think it's funny. But this is not the goal of this channel. It's not a snark channel. This is a health, wellness, and fitness channel. And we are using them merely as case studies, and we need to remember that. I love reading your all's comments, and I heart them every time because you guys are hilarious. You are funny. I love hearing your opinions, and I don't mind expressing my own personal opinions also when we kind of chat in the comments. But it's different when it's comments and video, right? So I also don't want you to think that I don't notice stuff regarding the GORLs. I got some comments about Alex and her like parenting style and parenting attitude. Yeah, I notice, but I'm not going to comment on it because, first of all, absolutely none of my business. I don't have kids yet, and it's just not fair to criticize another parent when you're still not a parent yourself. Even if there's a big gap between the ages of the children, let's say her kid is, by the time I have my kid, her kid is already going to be over 2 years old, I'm not going to be in a position to comment about how she raises Anderson. It's not that I don't notice. I'm just purposefully not reacting to it. The only thing that I would react concerning her child is how she feeds him, maybe, and her choices of food, and maybe sort of giving options to other people regarding what they can do. And even there, I'm still not cooking for a toddler. I'm still not feeding a toddler, making food for a toddler, and I still don't know exactly what is safe or what's not, how you should cut veggies and fruit and what size or whatever, as a choking hazard. So I would be quite careful on talking about those topics. All right? This is all I want to say. This was 12 minutes of jibber jabber. I will put timestamps, or I'll try. It will be my first time using timestamps, so please just bear with me. I will try to put timestamps so you can skip all this and just go straight to the reaction. But those things are important to mention. Now, I'm going to put Stella down so I can watch my screen a little bit better. But before that, I'm going to give her some kisses. My little sassy girl. She's doing so much better with her eye. I am now filled with Stella hair. Okay, let's jump straight into Anna. We have a lot to catch up on her TikTok. I am only going to react to videos in which she does fitness and lifting. I really can't care about anything else. If I catch one and I have something wise to say, maybe I'll leave it in. But generally, guys, if she's just like dancing, goofing around, I'm gonna skip it, okay? So, let me have a sip of my decaf, and it's go time. The caption reads, I don't know what I'm more proud of, increasing my deadlift to 365 or the fact that I did it without breaking my form. I've never been able to up my weights without breaking form. The bar would float away every freaking time. We've been tweaking my form, making adjustments so this lift could feel strong and natural for my body. Okay. I have wider thighs, so we learned that I need to step a bit further back from the bar and maintain a slightly wider grip. This led to progress, but I couldn't get out of my head. Okay. As a perfectionist, sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan.
I was thinking about everything all at once and it was causing me to fail. So today I put on my headphones, blasted some Papa Roach, Last Resort, okay, and pulled a deadlift I couldn't be prouder of. The bar did not float away, the load felt lighter as a result, and I saw all the mistakes of the past few months finally connect in a line to this success. Well, I'm glad she found the form that fits. I am not surprised that she had to make a lot of adjustments to her form in order to deadlift because of her size. Again, we talked about it. She has padding in places that other people don't. She can't fully put her arms by her torso next to her body, right? Her arms will naturally be a little bit more far away from her torso and sort of pronated. Yeah, pronated a little bit. So I'm not surprised she had to do all that and maybe have a wider stance. She is still lifting from the blocks, and I still don't have a problem with it because how could she possibly have the range of motion not to? This is from December 11, 2025. Let's see her lift. Full disclosure, I tried filming this video a couple of days ago and I tried something new with my mic and it completely flopped. It was unsalvageable, so I'm just refilming now. So let's see her form. Yeah, that was a pretty clean deadlift. Let's see it again. And then why is she humbled? Oh, because she tossed her headphones, her expensive Apple headphones, and she just dropped them on the floor. I would never do that. I have more respect for my stuff. Okay, let's see it again. Very wide grip, but okay. I mean, whatever works, girl. Okay, she bent her knees and got into her deadlift position, but she didn't pull the slack before she started lifting. She just got into the position and started pulling immediately. This is something that people need to get used to, especially with bench press. I notice people unrack the bar and immediately put it to their chest. Let it balance first. Find your position first and then go. One more time, I want to watch it. Yeah, huge improvement on her form. Good job. Finally, her coach did his job. Now, this person, Cybernetic Strongman, that's her previous coach. I'm aware she has a new coach, Ines. I think Ines's programming is probably much better than this guy's program because she focuses more on volume training, lower weights, and more reps instead of just chasing weight PRs, which I think is a good strategy, especially for Anna, to humble her a little bit. She needs it. However, from what I understand, Inez is a remote coach. She doesn't see Anna training in person, and she can't give her coaching cues at all. So, my little dog, she's laying there. She can't give her coaching cues at all. Even if Anna would take a video once in a while and send it to her and she gives her some corrections, it's not ad hoc, it's not on the spot, right? It's only sort of like after the fact. So, and then it's never perfect like you see when you see someone in person. Anna needs special attention, and Anna needs that one-on-one coaching, again, because she is not general population. She is special population because of her weight and because of her, well, honestly, her personality and mindset. So I don't know how well this is going to go for her with Inez. In general, I would say remote coaching, which I do, by the way. I have remote coaching clients, and it's a service that I provide. But for remote coaching, it is extremely difficult and ineffective for beginners. It's good if you are intermediate and above and you're looking for someone for accountability and you're looking for someone to help you programming, and you know how to lift, but you don't know what to do when you get to the gym. You don't have like a strategy. Yeah, that's good for intermediates plus. However, if you are either very much a beginner or a very high-level athlete that needs very, very professional training and minor tweaks to certain lifts, etc., then remote is no bueno. Oh, okay, I was waiting for this one. She's doing a plank again, and this is something that I forgot to mention last time I was talking about her planking, and I'm going to use this opportunity to talk about. That was my mistake. I didn't talk about it last time, but if you cannot do a proper plank from the floor, there are strategies to come about it and to scale it so that you can. I'm going to demonstrate it shortly, but before that, we're going to read her caption and watch her video. So it says, this is from January 2nd, by the way. It says, I wanted to end the year on a high. Look, I know y'all are going to come for my form. Yes, 100%. I get it. It is rough by my own admission. It's rough and by my own admission, a little weird. I'm surprised I could read that because she didn't write my. That said, I'm focusing on the fact that last time I tried this, I got 37 seconds. I felt shocks up my arms. What the hell? And I was sore AF the next day. You are not supposed to feel any of that, and you're not supposed to be sore from planking the next day. Yesterday, I spent a total of 1 minute and 55 seconds in a plank. She didn't mention how many times she had to break form or how long her breaks were. And my body is okay today. That feels absolutely unreal to me. So if a good portion of that looks like a bad flow routine at the twerking Olympics, so be it. I just booty bounced my way to achieve a goal. How on brand for me. Okay, let's talk about the plank, its goals, and why the bouncing completely takes the edge off of it, okay? Plank is a midline stabilizing exercise. That's when you work on holding the hollow position and stabilizing and balancing yourself. It's not how long your arms can take pain. That's not what it is about at all, okay? So once you start moving your torso and bouncing around, the plank loses its intended stimulus, right? So I wouldn't call this a plank at all if she bounced around, and we're going to watch it soon. So this is just to preface that what she's doing here doesn't count. And it's not because I'm being mean, it's because this is not a plank. If you cannot plank statically and hold a static hold on the floor, there are better ways to do it. Especially if the reason is because your arms hurt, because you're heavy. Let's look at this video. I'm gonna mute it because I remember there's a song on here. And I'm gonna put some music on top. She started okay, but then look at her shifting and moving. Also, her body is straight, which is not supposed to be. It's supposed to be in a hollow. Now she's raising her hips too high and she's bouncing around. This is absolutely not a plank. What she's doing is that she's challenging the strength of her elbows and wrists. Oh, what happened here? She's challenging the durability of her elbows and wrists, but she's not planking. This is not a plank. And there are better ways to increase durability for your elbows and wrists than putting between 400 to 500 pounds of weight on them. All right, well, I've seen enough. If you cannot plank from the floor, here's what you're going to do. First of all, I will mention, I don't know if you can see my cursor, her shoulders are supposed to be over her wrist. So her shoulder should be where her head is pretty much right now. She should shift the weight much more forward. Of course, she cannot do that because she is extremely heavy. What I would recommend is to find some sort of stable raised surface. The best option would be either on a squat rack or a Smith machine. Make sure that you put the safeties on both. And plank on an elevated surface. You can start with placing the bar at chest height and do a minute. It might feel super duper easy. And then next week you take it one notch down and do your maximum up to a minute, let's say. Every week you're going to take the bar one notch down as long as you can maintain a minute. I wouldn't go down a notch before you manage to get, let's say, at least 50 seconds, not even a minute, 50 seconds. Only then you can graduate to the next notch down. It's gonna look like this. I'm gonna use the couch, I guess. All right, so you're gonna place your hands on the elevated surface, go up on the tippy toes, shift your weight forward so that the shoulder is over the wrist, suck in your belly button, squeeze your bum. When I was doing this, you saw, first of all, I don't have a pretty bum when I do this, right? I tuck in my tailbone, suck in my belly button, thinking about bringing my ribs and my hips closer to each other, bearing down. This will create the pressure and the tension to target midline stabilization. Again, this is not the position, this is the position, all right? This is what you're trying to achieve, maintaining that hollow in a more and more challenging form. I hope this is clear. I don't think I have anything to add. Carry on. All right. Even though she's not working out here, I have something to say about this TikTok. I'm gonna read her caption. On boxes. Actually, weird moment of pride filming this. This would have scared the bejesus out of me a year ago. I didn't trust my body enough not to lose balance and fall off. Yet here we are in 2026 doing it fearlessly. When I talk about regaining trust in my body and that opening me up and that opening me up to new experiences, stuff like this matters. If you haven't lived with that fear coating, every decision you make about your body, it is crippling. Excited to keep chipping away at its hold on me in 2026 and celebrating every win, even the silly ones, along the way. Okay. She's dancing. It's on mute because she's playing some sort of club song. I'm going to put music over it. And it says, when you used to be a club girl, but now you just go to the gym. All right. Extremely attention-seeking and disruptive to other people at the gym. She takes all the air out of the room, in every room. She just can't handle not being the center of attention. And then after doing something like this, she would claim that she has social anxiety. It annoys me to no end that she would do stuff like this in the first place and then say, oh, my social anxiety. Like, how dare you? Really? How dare you?
I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
But other than that, this is not the way to challenge what your body can or cannot do, okay? I understand the feeling of maybe fear to do something or not trusting your body to do something. I've had some injuries before. I broke my foot about 7 years ago, and I was scared afterwards going downstairs. I went downstairs foot by foot, even after I was completely healed. I even have an example from this week already. My friend, who's going to be my Hyrox partner, took me on a longer run. She's more of a runner than I am. I can run short distances, but she can run, longer, 5, 10 Ks, even more. And I haven't tried to run anything over a mile at one go for a very long time. And my memory for when I last tried it is that it was, first of all, very painful on my knees and ankles, and second, just extremely hard. It required a lot of recovery afterwards. And she's like, oh, I don't think you understand. We're supposed to jog lightly and talk as we go. Like, if you can still talk as we're jogging, then you're doing fine. And we did a 4K and we were talking the entire time. And actually, I told her, you know what, I could have done another, like, I could have closed a 5K, but maybe let's save it for the next time. And she's like, yeah, that's a good idea, kind of ease into it. And I was shocked. I was shocked that I could jog a 4K, not have pain, talk all the way through. And it took us 29 minutes. So zone 2 training, I guess. So I was surprised, and I know the fear. I was a little bit nervous and scared when I agreed to do it, and then I realized, oh, this wasn't like a big deal at all. So I understand the mindset of like getting over a hindrance, like so, something that you think, oh, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I could recover from this, I don't know if this is going to be painful, I don't know if I'm going to hurt myself. The fear of hurting yourself is a very big deal. This is not really the way to go. Okay, guys? I don't know. This is not it. Moving on. Fashions? On this account? On the Viking Princess Lifts account? Let's see what she has to say. This audio is too perfect for me. I don't know what audio that is. Half carefree girly girl, half you don't want to fight me one-on-one. So maybe you should watch what you say. 100% me. Let's see what the audio is. You don't want to fight me one-on-one. Okay, the fact that you're big and strong, even if you are big and strong, doesn't make you able to fight. Though I wouldn't want to fight Anna, she would sit on me. This sort of pendulum weight step-ups, I've never done this one before. I think it's not a bad one in terms of like her controlling her balance, and she also needs to kind of shrug this weight in order to get it up each step. So let's take a look again. Yeah, she's picking it up in like a small deadlift, and then she has to shrug it to come up. And that shrug is part of the clean. I was watching a Wicked Weird Wednesday video the other day that she recently posted, and there's a video of Anna is in the background of the video of another person from her gym who is also morbidly obese, and he was doing the continental clean and press. And the way that he and Anna got under the bar is that they didn't bend their knees, like they lifted the bar, shrugged, and instead of getting under with a quarter squat, they just like lean back in order to get in. It's a very common mistake. I think it's more natural for people like them who do have big bellies and are naturally leaned back with their spine. It's like the natural movement that they do anyway. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to catch the bar in a quarter squat in order to get it to the front rack position and then press. So I don't know, maybe that shruggy bit would help her go under the bar, but you know, whatever. I don't think it's a bad exercise per se. I just don't exactly understand how this would apply to strongmen other than, I don't know. Okay, bench press. Let's go. She's talking about her progress. POV, you stay consistent. She is trying to create a narrative in which she is progressing her bench press. This video is from a few years back, before her surgeries, when she was shilling an app called Copilot, and now it's called Trainwell. That it's like an AI training thing. That's what she was shilling back then. She was using these baby weights, and now when she uses actual heavy weights for her, where she needs to push herself, she's saying, oh, look at all this progress. But this is not how her linear progress is actually looking like, and it has nothing to do with her consistency. This is her just like going through the motions and not really working out, not really pushing herself. Now, there's nothing wrong with using weights like this, and we're going to talk about the types of bench press in a second after I watch the video. But it's like you can't half-ass something and then full-ass something and then say, oh, this is progress. It's not. Okay. Okay. Using heavier and heavier weights. Yeah, I mean she has a strong bench. Her form is not very good, but she's very strong on her bench press. Few things regarding bench press with dumbbells and with a barbell. A barbell is not a progression from dumbbells. These are two separate movements. They both have their own advantages, okay, and their own pros when it comes to training. First of all, if you cannot lift the bar yet because the 45 pounds or 20 kg that a bar weighs is too heavy for you, then yes, you're going to use very light weights or lighter weights in order to build up the strength to approach a bar. Okay, but even if you can do 100 kilo, let's say 100 kilo bench press, there are still a very big value to using dumbbells. Now, few things. If you can bench 100 kg, that does not mean that you can bench 50 and 50 with the dumbbells. Absolutely not. Here are the reasons why. First of all, when you use dumbbells, you can reach a much greater range of motion than you would with the bar. Eventually, when you bench with the bar, your body is going to stop it, right? And if you have a big torso, like Anna, the range of motion that you're going to use is shorter anyway, and maybe that's why her bench is pretty strong, because she doesn't need to move a lot to get her full rep, okay? She touches her torso maybe here, I would touch my torso maybe here. If I use dumbbells, I can get even deeper, okay? That's the advantage of using dumbbells, is that you can get a much deeper movement and a longer movement. So I would say actually for Anna to use dumbbells exclusively, because her body is in the way of actually achieving a good goal. So that's number one. That's also why you see her using quite light dumbbells and a heavy barbell, because what she can do with her movement with a barbell is much shorter and therefore allows her to add more and more weight. She doesn't need to dig herself out of a very deep hole when she does it with a bar. That's number one. Number two regarding dumbbells is that they are two separate implements. It's not just like one long piece. So that gives you a huge advantage on working on shoulder stability, which is also something that Anna absolutely needs, because she has a huge discrepancy, first of all, between her left and her right arm, and her left and her right shoulders in terms of stability, range of motion, and strength. And second, it's not just the discrepancy between the two, it's the fact that her upper body is much weaker and less stable than her lower in most things. So if I were her coach, I'd be dumbbells only. Dumbbells only. If I want to create a win for her or generate artificially a success for her, then we would use the bar. And sometimes as a coach, you do need to do that because mindset is part of this, right? But I would say for her and for most beginners, the dumbbells are much more beneficial. And even if you're very good at bench pressing, incorporating dumbbell bench press on a flat bench or on an incline is a great idea. Okay, so the bar doesn't mean progression. The fact that you're using a bar doesn't mean that you need to neglect the dumbbells. It's not like, oh, I used to do dumbbells, now I do bar. Absolutely not. Okay, we're gonna do one last TikTok here. I've been talking a lot, but I've also skipped a lot of TikToks that were stupid and unnecessary. So let's give her voice back. Let's read her caption. Arm day is done and dusted. Ooh, I was just talking about her arms and shoulders. The gym was so weirdly empty today, it freaked me out. Why? Luckily, it filled out by the time I finished my lifts. Fine, like who cares?
Arm day, let's go. There's absolutely no one in the gym today. Like 0 people. He's not even just here. There's also no one here.
I like that there's like black metal in the background. This is the type of music that I enjoy.
Let's go to the max. No one here. There's not even
There's an MMA section. That's crazy. What a nice gym. Where is this? As if it matters. I live on the other side of the fucking planet.
Yeah, on the cardio machines.
There's no one even on the cardio machines. Oh, can we see you training?
Creepy, actually.
I'm gonna mute, sorry. Bench press, 4 sets of 6. 130, 135, 140. The gym is empty, and she's doing bench press on her own. The safeties are far too low, so you see when it hits her chest, it's not even close to the safety bars. That means that they are completely useless. And she puts the closure, the clip on the bar. How irresponsible. If she gets stapled under the bar, which have happened to her many, many times before, it's a tree in the forest. There's no one there to help her. She is done for. She is done for. All right? How many times have we seen her upload videos of her getting stapled on the bar or very precariously managing to re-rack a bench press bar? This is so irresponsible. If you are on your own at the gym and you want to do bench press for whatever reason and you don't have a spotter, first of all, don't put these on. If you don't have safeties, put the safeties in, of course, where they should be at proper height, all right? So you can touch the chest and it's just this much off the safeties. Sometimes that doesn't work, all right, because how the bench rack is built, or sometimes there are no safeties. So you're not going to use the clips. And let's say you get stapled, you lean the bar one way, let the plates fall, and then you lean the bar the other way, let the weights fall, and get rid of the bar. Turn it to the side. She will not be able to do this if she's there on her own. If you see someone benching like this and you can tell that they need help, you can ask them if they need a spot. I just spotted someone at the gym the other day. I saw that he was, he meant business. He was not using the clips. He just had a sip of his White Monster. He had his earphones on, and he had a lot of weight on the bar, and then he added 2.5 pounds each side, 1 kilo each side. And I was like, okay, this guy is going for a PR, or at least something close to it. So as he was finishing his set, I just came along and I was like, okay, I'm with you, just don't be scared. And he pumped up 2-3 more reps. So he was really happy about it. So, I'm a good Samaritan. And also it's my job. Let's see what else she's doing on her arm day. Oh God, I am allergic to her overhead press, to her shoulder press. We talked about it so many times before, I don't even want to mention it anymore, but you just need to get the chin out of the way. Okay? When you push the bar overhead. You want the bar to move in a completely vertical line as much as possible. So, of course, this is in the way. Get it out of the way, but don't do that. Stay tight in your core. Stabilize your spine. The core is also your spine stabilizer. And push straight up to overhead. Make sure that you own the position overhead, and then back down. I can't. Look how she's lifting her head. She's not putting her head away. She's lifting the chin. That's wrong. God, I can't look at her do this. Okay, tricep extensions. I would prefer to do this on a cable machine, but I do these as well with the dumbbell. She's using a 50-pounder. Yeah, that's fine. I use that same weight too, by the way. Pretty much. However, when you do this, don't let your elbows flare out like so. They should be nice and tight. Even without any weight, when I do this, I'm feeling my triceps a little bit. When I do this, there is no tension on the triceps almost at all. And here. Okay, more. Fine, not exactly. I don't know why she does these isolation exercises, and especially I was talking about her lateral raises before. I don't understand why she does these. What is the advantage for her for these? She should focus on compound movements almost exclusively. There is absolutely no reason to do all these type of bodybuilder type exercises. Just focus on your lifts. Just focus on your lifts. It's not like if she's gonna do the lateral raises, all of a sudden her side delta is gonna pop through her layers of fat. Even for me, I gained some weight because of the pregnancy, and I also have more fluids in my body and increased blood volume, and I lost most of the definition in my arm. So even for me, doing the side lateral raises, the side delt exercises is not, you're not going to see anything. I still do them because eventually I will lose this weight and they're going to be popping again. But for her, she has some ways to go, all right? What else? Incline dumbbell bench. Why did she save this for last? I don't know. Great exercise. We just talked about the bench pressing strategy.
Last thing I do as part of my Tuesday workout is get my MLD, which is my manual lymphatic drainage.
Fine.
And that just helps me process and recover from everything I did over the past couple days.
All right. I don't really have a problem with her having lymphatic drainage. I think she needs it. I need it, of course. Retaining fluids.
What's happening?
You're blowing up like a balloon. Like a blueberry.
Well, okay, I think that's it for today. I've already been talking for almost an hour, but you asked for Anna, I delivered. Let me know in the comments below what you think about whatever it is that I said today. If you're okay with me trying not to be a snark channel, there will be snark. It's just not a snark channel, okay? I love you guys. You're the best. And yeah, you're just the best. I love you, okay?